Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Messing with my mic a little bit, so I'm not sure if this is too loud or too soft, but hopefully it's working. It's been a couple of days. I did put up a video like 2 days ago, but that was from like 3 days prior because I just get so busy with work I wasn't able to put anything up. Um, and I am back to work full time. Well, I was working full time before, but I had a day off each day, so I had a little bit more energy to do these. Uh, jump right into it. As you saw probably in the title, I've been working on a new skill point strategy for myself, which I'm going to get to fairly soon. That I'll explain. Um, and I did make a list of everything, the three things that I wanted to go over today in the video. And one of them is I wanted to just hit on Deadspace play. Again, I did a couple videos. I want to talk about that very briefly. And there is a really good video that I found for that for you guys if you're interested. That's much better than the ones I made. But I want to talk about that real briefly, just give you an update on that. Again, really briefly, I wanted to talk about a skill point overview. If just because I know a lot of you know about how to get skill points, obviously, but this kind of leads into my new skill point strategy at the end. When I say my skill point strategy, I don't know if it would be helpful to you, or if you have any pointers that might be helpful to me that you would want to, and everybody else that would be pointed out in the comment section. But so let's just jump right into it. One thing recently that, if you've watched my last couple videos, I started doing Deadspace play, going through the oh my brain ain't working. The filaments, using the filaments and trying those out for the first time. Still having a little fun with those, but I wasn't able to do as much this week as I had done previously because partly because of work, and partly because there were more people in my systems that I normally do, and I didn't have the time because of work to go find an alternate route to go do them. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing that this weekend. Today, Monday and Tuesday, on my days off, just to be able to get a little bit more of that. But to be honest, those videos can get a little bit tedious because it's the same thing every time. Well, not the same thing, but as I move up, I might do another video of those. So the one thing that I thought about with those, and I want to say this right before I actually bring up the video. If you've watched my videos in the past, I'm all for active gameplay. Back in not just power gaming to see what ship I could fly. I like to not look up videos and try things out first and die, and then if I'm having problems, then maybe go look at some cheat sheets and stuff like that, but still never really power game to try to get that perfect alpha strike for the perfect thing until I've played a certain scenario for a long time. On the opposite end, I love to passively power game. And what that means is if I can maximize things that are going on out that are not really gameplay but will help my gameplay, then I like to do those. Examples of that would be to getting out of an NPC corporation so I'm not getting hit with taxes. To do planetary interaction. I haven't done it with this character yet, but to maximize the amount of ISK that I can get through that, because it's passively playing most of the time, just working itself. When I first started playing, I was a miner, and I power gamed that. This was 10 years ago, to see how much ore I could drain from rock every hour and try to get the last little bit out. I don't really do that sort of thing anymore. Same thing with NPC play. I don't really do that, but I do like to passively power game. That's what I'm going to talk about today, with the skill points and what I think is a really good way that I've thought of for myself for the to passively power game my skill points. And if you guys have any pointers for that, you please let me know. Coffee time. Okay, so that said, I have nothing wrong with somebody power gaming and trying to get that perfect alpha strike. I can learn from it. Last night I watched a really good video, which I want to point out here. It was, let's pull her up here, was by Captain Benzie. I think I've watched a decent number of his videos in the past. Really good guy. Does some very nice videos, better ones than I did. And this one, if you're wondering about Deadspace, Abyssal Deadspaces, he did a video on flying a thrasher solo and doing the tranquil Deadspaces in under 3 minutes. It's a really good video. He actually points out another guy's video in Fit in his video, so I respect that. But if you want to look it up, I will have the link. But it's how to run Abyssal Deadspaces in 3 minutes. Really good video. I really liked it. It's not my personal cup of tea because, you know me, I'm just flying my little cruiser in there and messing around for a little while. But maybe down the road, and I did learn a little bit from it, but they've got like a bunch of Tech 2 guns and Tech 2 rigs and all sorts of stuff, which is cool. But this is a really good video if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about Abyssal Deadspace, more so than what I can teach you. My videos about Abyssal Deadspace are more so about me trying to get blown up. But if you want to look at that video, it will be in my description down at the bottom. Thrasher vid right down here. Great job, Mr. Benzie. More coffee. Now, let's keep moving. Really quickly, I wanted to talk about skill points overview. How do you get your skill points? Now, I know a lot of you know this, but I just want to review it really, really quickly so that you understand when I get to my next area with my new skill point strategy as to why I'm kind of doing what I'm doing. And maybe I've missed something. So, in general, ways you get skill points are your daily, up here, your skill points slowly progress as you've got them in your queue. They slowly go up, and by every minute, every second, you get an extra skill point. And depending on your implants, those can go higher, depending on if you have gone in and done a remap. It'll make your skills higher, that sort of thing. And that's going to be a major part of my new plan. And so that is the first way that you get them. Where is my notes? My notes. I can't think without my notes. Second one is your daily events. These over here, a lot of times you just get daily events or the daily boot up that you get every 4 or 5 days. They give you like 10 or 15,000 skill points, anywhere up to 42 if you're in a mega. So you'll slowly gain your skill points there. You can also get them through game events. Game events, might drop some skill points for doing special things, so you might get them through that side of it. Last but not least, and probably the thing I will never do, but I know a lot of people do, is you could do extraction. You can extract them from other characters and move them over to this one. If you have old characters that you know you're never going to use again, then you could extract those skill points and bring them over. You could also purchase, if you purchase a package off of Eve for a month, sometimes they'll throw in some extra skill points there. Or Eve actually allows this now, if I'm not mistaken. You can actually purchase a pre-built character made by another person, a clone, and take over that account. Now, I don't know all the rules of that. I'm sure there's special things, but if you ever want to look that up, that's something I definitely will never do, because I'm not going to pay money to not be able to gameplay. But if you need a specific If you have a specific need, then that's there. And somebody, I thought I wore her out. I took her for a nice uh, run with the balls, and then we went and we went for a nice walk. But now she's sitting next to me and she wants to say hi. So come on up, man, Maya. There you are. I don't know if you guys. There she is. So just wants to say hi. Okay. You happy? She hears me talking. That's what it is. Okay. Off you go. Off. Hey, hey, hey. Off. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, I'll be with you in about 10 minutes, all right? Maybe less than that. Although I get talkative and you know that. So, those are the ways that you can get the skill points. The spots that I'm actually going to focus on with my new skill plan is the first three. And this is more of a looking at how I do things currently and realizing that it's not the best way to do it. And that's why I have here first my current bad strategy of doing it. And I think a lot of us get into this rut where you just make up a skill plan, you put them in there, you say, oh, I want to fly that ship, I want to go mine that thing, or I want to do that planetary interaction. And you put your skills in there, and then it's set for like 45 days, and then you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot I need to do, my power grid isn't enough, so I need to upgrade my power grid so I can get the ship that I want, blah, blah, blah. So you put those skills in, or you buy them with the free skill points, that sort of thing. And you're kind of all over the place with what you're doing. You're not maximizing, I think, this is what I do. And last but not least, and I'm going to show you, this is going to be painful to see, I get indecisive as far as my unallocated skill points. I've got 1.1 million skill points just sitting, not being used. So to show you how that affects me as a gameplay, watch this. So if I were to apply all of these skill points, it would give me all of these skills all the way up through half of mechanics. So literally every one of these skills through half of mechanics. But I'm paranoid that my drone skills aren't as good as they could be, and I'm just waiting for those to come in and work. Whereas a beginning character where you're under like 10 million skill points, you should really have a lot of these up, which I don't. That's what I really realized, was I'm not giving myself the benefit of those bonus skill points that I've slowly accumulated over the last couple months doing events and things like that, because I'm just paranoid about using them. So, what I came up with is kind of a new plan for myself, and it's using the knowledge that I've had in the past, and also just remembering, because you also get paranoid about doing your skill remap, because you only get one a year. You get like a bonus one to start with, and then you get one a year after that. So if you mess it up, then you're kind of, stuck. And I've been wanting to do a remap, but I wanted to plan it out. Now, if you guys don't know about this, most of you probably do, so I won't spend a whole lot of time on it. But the skill remap is under your character. I'm going to minimize this here. Minimize. Pull up a character. There he is. And then we go into the character. And under the attributes, you can remap your skill points. You start off with set points. Now, I have on my character implants that give me a +3 and everything. So these are higher than normal, but if you notice, they're all evenly distributed except for charisma, because and they would be 24, 24, 24, 24, and 23, because I've also got the basic capsuleer booster from the last thing going on. So I got all sorts of stuff going on to up them. But if you notice, they're evenly distributed, and that is where you're really losing out if you don't remap. Now, this isn't going to be about a remap video. It's about the strategy that I'm going to use to remap in a couple of days. And that's where I'm saying that you guys might be able to help me if I'm wrong with this before I actually do the remap. So when you remap, you can move points. I'm going to fake like I'm going to do it. I'm going to say remap now. I have to approve it before I do it, so I'm not worried about that. And I can remove off skill points and then put them in other ones, just like if you were using one of the strategies in D&D where you're making up one of your characters or other video games. I could say I'm going to remove out points from my perception and from my memory and my charisma and add them to my willpower and intelligence. So obviously my perception and memory went down, my charisma went down, but these went up. So I want to focus on skills that only do willpower and intelligence. Now this is where you can get to the problem. Let's say you set this up and then you realize, oh my gosh, I really wanted to get into, let's say, planetary interaction and do that up, all of those up to level 5. Those involve charisma. So it would drastically slow you down, especially at those higher levels, to do that because you can get your charisma higher. So you really want to plan this out before you do your remap, because you've only got 2 of them and you only get 1 more every year. So that's where you run into the problem. I'm going to close this before I accidentally hit save changes, because I'm not going to do this for a couple of days. Maybe if I get some feedback from you guys on this. So my plan was to go through, and if this is helpful for anybody, I'm going to start, and I'm going to talk about this as if I was a new character. And let's just pull up the skills. Okay, notice how I've got these set up, and these are very basic, normal startup skills. And like gunnery here, gunnery level 5. If I show the info on it, and attributes, it does perception and willpower. Okay. Next one here is drone durability. It uses memory and perception. We're going to scroll down a little bit farther here. I just want to find one that's a little bit different. Let's say industry. Come on. Hello. Oh, now I get the wheel of death. I need to close that. We got the donut. Okay, so industry will be, I think it's intelligence and something. Okay, here we go. We're good. Show info. Intelligence and memory. So you notice how they're different. Now, a lot of you already know this, but I'll just briefly say it. If you hover over each one of these, each grouping of your skill categories is all of your skills under that. So for all of the armor skills here, they are all under the intelligence and memory grouping. Corporation management is under charisma memory. Drones, memory perception. But if you look, there is a definite grouping of a lot of them. And I'm going to say, like if I look at industry level 5, so industry is under production, memory, and intelligence. If I look at mechanics, which I think is under engineering, memory, and intelligence and memory. If I look at science, it is, notice here, memory and intelligence. So all 3, and there's other ones, but all 3 of these are groups of skills are under memory and intelligence. Now, a lot of you are still sitting there and you're saying, we understand this. We know remapping. This is where my plan comes into play. Number 1, do I have my notes? Because I want to miss anything. Number 1, if I was a brand new character, and I've always said this, hold on one sec. if I was a new player or I was telling somebody to start a game as a new player, I would 99% of the time tell them to always, within the first day, work, even as an alpha character, especially as an alpha character, learn how to explore. Because if you learn how to explore, it's going to give you something you can do every day. Within day 1 or 2, it's going to give you the ability to make ISK. It's going to teach you directional scanning if you really work at it. It's going to teach you how to look at areas. So I always say that work on your skills for exploration. Don't worry about remapping or anything like that. Get those exploration skills in. Number 2, I would say still don't worry about remapping. You're going to do Magic 14. If you want to check it out, I've talked about it a lot. It's out there. Everybody knows about it. Do a search, Eve University, Magic 14. It's a great explanation. It will have you set your character up for success, so you have all the basic skills that you need to get going forward, and you can get that done fairly quickly. And I would say even dump your skills into that, your bonus skills each day. Get those up and running so you don't have to worry about anything. That's your power grid management, that's your CPU management. It's just different basic stuff that you should have. That said, once you do those 2 and you figure out how you want to play the game otherwise than exploration, whether you're going to be a miner, whether you're going to be an NPC, or whether you're going to be PvPer, my idea now is to do what's called, and I'm coming up with this, a lump and dump. Okay? So in other words, if you notice whenever I went through these 3 here, all of them had the memory and intelligence. I'm slowly lumping all of the ones that... Do you see this? This is a ball. Somebody just brought it to me. She will be back. No, not right now. Not right now. Okay. I shouldn't have started that. So, lump and dump. So the idea for me is to clear out all of these ones that have different skills that I feel like I need, that I can get done fairly quickly. This is going to be about 4 or 5 days. Maybe more than that. 18 hours, blah, 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 blah. That said, but once I get done with that, I'm going to probably lump every skill that I possibly can in my skill training queue and only have skills in my training queue that have memory and intelligence as my queue is working. So they will skill up even faster than they currently are. I can bump them up over 30 and get them going, especially for those final ones, your level 5s on each one. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to work with there. So that's the lumping side of it. The dumping side of it is the unallocated skill points here. I never know when to use those unallocated skills. I'm always afraid to use them. So the dumping part of it will be, okay, if I have skills that I want to work on that aren't under my intelligence and willpower skills, like let's say they're perception and charisma, or perception and what's the other one? Doesn't matter. You don't understand what I'm saying. Let's see here. Perception and I need to know. Memory. Perception and memory. Let's say I want to work on some drone skills. Okay? Those I'm going to use with my daily bonus skill points and all the unallocated skill points. I'm going to use those there. Why am I going to do it that way? Because when you do it that way, you can get them instantly when you want them. But the other part too is you're not slowing down the other ones. You are basically just getting those points. And the points themselves are not a big thing. You just, if I wanted to get Industry 5 right now, I could, because I have enough skill points. Doesn't matter my willpower and perception. I get those points instantaneously. So I would basically be organizing myself in a better manner that my daily progression on my passive skills that I'm working on is going a lot faster, whereas the the skills that I definitely want right away, anytime I get, what I could do is, let's say I get, one of those big daily bonuses of 25,000 skill points. Ooh, I could sit here and go, ooh, I've got 25,000. What can I go buy with those skill points that isn't an intelligence, what are these? My engineering. That is an intelligence memory. Okay? I hope that's understandable. So I'm calling it kind of my lump and dump strategy. I know it took a while to get there to explain it. But I hope I explained it in an understandable way. If you guys have a better way of doing it, let me know. But there are other ways to get skill points, like I pointed out earlier. But this is my new strategy because I found, number one, I'm not using my unallocated right now. I'm not organized where I'm getting all my bonuses as well as I could. And the last but not least, there was one other reason for doing this. Maybe two. So you get your faster skills. But the other part too is with this lumping strategy, you don't have to have all 5 implants on you. If you're just using the basic implants, I'm not talking about the ones that give you the other bonuses, but if you're using just the basic skill plan implants, especially like new characters use, you only have to have 2 implants. You don't have to have all 5. I only have to have my memory and my intelligence implants. I don't have to have the charisma, so I'm not spending that money, and I'm also not putting those up where I could lose them if I were to be killed in Deadspace or by another player by being potted. So there's it there. Unfortunately, I've got a little girl right now who really wants to go play fetch again. Go get that. So I need to end this video. But I hope that's helpful. If you guys have any ideas, if you have any thoughts, please feel free to let me know. Just post them in the comment section, or you can message me at pill_grim character. But I'd actually prefer it in the comment section because other people could read it and maybe add on to it or have other ideas. So that'd be awesome. Well, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys are having a great one. I'm going to go play with my dog again for the 3rd time today. It is 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to play with my dog again because she's insane. You can see her head right here. Oops. See this? Right here? Right here? There it goes. All right. You guys have a great day. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.